Have you ever caught yourself deciphering glances, analyzing messages, searching between the lines of every word for a deeper meaning? Love turns us into emotional detectives, always on the lookout for signs, for confirmations that soothe this restless heart that so desperately wants to be chosen. Amid the uncertainties that vulnerability brings, there is a silent truth we don't always perceive. The signs are there, unfolding in small actions, in nearly imperceptible gestures. Princess Diana, in all her wisdom about relationships and human connections, used to say, "The happiest people don't necessarily have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything they have." Isn't that exactly what we seek in a relationship? Someone who sees the best in us, even when we can't see it ourselves? True love isn't like the movies, grand and dramatic. It's the kind that shows up in subtlety, in everyday details, in the quiet constancy of someone choosing to stay. It's about what remains when the spotlights fade and real life begins. It's about shared vulnerability and mutual growth. Today, I want to walk with you on this journey of self-discovery and emotional understanding. I want to help you see beyond your own insecurities, beyond the defense mechanisms we build to protect ourselves, but that so often prevent us from receiving the love we deserve. Before we dive into the signs that reveal when someone is truly in love with you, you need to understand. Recognizing these signs is also an exercise in self-esteem and self-knowledge. You must believe yourself worthy of love to be able to identify it when it stands before your eyes. On this journey, we share here, week after week, I've noticed how you've grown, how you've opened up to new perspectives on yourself and on love. If you're not yet part of this community of women rediscovering their value, now is the perfect moment to join us. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so we can continue this intimate conversation that transforms us. Every reflection shared here is a small step toward the woman you are destined to become. Now, let's discover together the signs psychology teaches us to identify when someone is completely in love with you. Signs that Diana, with her unique sensitivity, also recognized in true relationships. 1. Authentic vulnerability. When a man is truly in love, his walls begin to crumble. That emotional shield society teaches men to build from an early age, the famous armor of men don't cry, starts to show cracks in his presence. You notice it when he shares fears he's never told anyone, when he reveals dreams he's kept hidden, when he allows you to see past the image he projects to the world. Vulnerability is the bravest act of love. It's saying, "Here I am with all my imperfections, choosing to trust that you won't use my weaknesses against me." When he begins to show vulnerability, he's not just sharing stories, he's offering parts of himself that few get to see. This vulnerability appears in small moments, when his voice falters talking about an unfulfilled childhood dream, when he confesses an irrational fear, when he admits he sometimes feels insecure. These are not signs of weakness. They are demonstrations of deep trust. You know vulnerability is genuine because it doesn't feel calculated. It comes with hesitation, even discomfort, like someone treading unfamiliar ground. It's different from performative vulnerability used as a seduction tactic. Authentic vulnerability asks for nothing in return. It is a gift, not a negotiation. In Diana's words, true love begins when the masks fall and we still remain. 2. Attention. 2 details. There is a subtle yet profoundly significant difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is a physical, automatic act. Listening is an act of love. When a man is completely in love, he doesn't just hear your words. He absorbs them, stores them, cherishes them. You casually mention you like extra cinnamon in your coffee. Weeks later, he makes your coffee just that way. You talk about a book that marked your adolescence. He seeks it out, reads it, wants to discuss what it meant to you. You speak of a distant dream. He remembers it at the most unexpected times, encouraging you with small steps toward it. This attention to detail isn't about photographic memory. It's about emotional presence. It's about what he chooses to retain from every conversation you share. When we truly love, we create a mental archive where we save every small piece of information about our beloved, not because we have to, but because each detail feels too precious to forget. This behavior has deep roots in attachment psychology. When we form significant emotional bonds, our minds flag information about that person as high priority. It's an instinctive connection mechanism, a way for our brain to say, "This person matters." Remember everything about them. Princess Diana, with her remarkable ability to make each person feel special, understood the value of this attention. She knew that remembering someone's name after meeting only once could transform their day. Likewise, when a man remembers every detail about you, he's silently saying, "You are not just another person in my life. You are someone whose words I treasure deeply." 3. Non-invasive, consistent presence. There is a fine line between showing interest and suffocating, between being present and being invasive. A man truly in love seems to sense this difference with a precision only genuine love allows. You sense this in how he seeks balance. He is present yet respects your space. He sends messages without demanding immediate responses. He shows interest in your day but understands when you need silence. It's a delicate dance between closeness and distance, a choreography that works only when both are in tune with the same emotional rhythm. This behavior reveals a fundamental psychological mechanism in healthy relationships, the balance between dependence and autonomy. The paradox is fascinating. The more secure the emotional bond, the more individual freedom it allows. When there is no fear of loss, there is no need to control. Non-invasive, consistent presence appears in small gestures, a message saying, "I'm thinking of you," without demanding a long reply, respect for your commitments without resentment, the way he can be fully present when you're together without encroaching on every aspect of your life. This balance is one of the most subtle and powerful indicators of mature love. It shows he loves you not as an extension of himself or as a solution to his lacks, but as a complete person with a right to her own space and individuality. Diana deeply understood this aspect, having experienced both emotional absence and excessive control. Perhaps that's why she valued those who could offer presence without pressure, interest without intrusion. 4. Investment in mutual growth. Mature love is not static. It's a journey of continuous evolution. When a man is truly in love, he doesn't just want to be with you in the present. He envisions a shared future where both of you grow, individually and as a couple. This investment in mutual growth shows up in various ways. He genuinely celebrates your achievements without competitiveness or insecurity. He encourages your projects, even when they take time away from him. He shares knowledge without condescension. He is open to learning from you, recognizing the unique wisdom you bring. Psychologically, this behavior reveals a mindset called growth mindset, applied to relationships. It's the deep belief that both partners can evolve, overcome limitations, develop new skills, together and separately. You notice this investment when he asks thought-provoking questions, shares books or ideas that might interest you, creates spaces for deep conversations about dreams and goals. It's not about shaping you to his expectations. It's about creating conditions for your best version to flourish. This is perhaps the rarest sign, as it requires substantial emotional maturity. It demands that the man feels secure enough not to be threatened by your growth, and self-aware enough to understand that true companionship doesn't mean fusing identities, but forming an alliance between whole individuals. Diana, with her constant dedication to personal growth and service to others, surely valued partners who encouraged evolution. She understood that the most powerful love doesn't bind you to who you are today, but inspires you to explore all the possibilities of who you can become. At this point in our journey together, I see how each reflection we share transforms not just our view of relationships, but our view of ourselves. This community we're building, word by word, feeling by feeling, has the power to illuminate paths that once seemed dark. If you're not yet an official part of this family, consider this a heartfelt invitation. Subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and let's continue this conversation that strengthens and connects us. Every new reflection will be another step toward the woman you are destined to become. 5. Synchronized body language. Even before words are spoken, our bodies are already in full conversation. Nonverbal communication is the oldest form of human communication, and it remains the most honest. When a man is deeply in love, his body speaks a language that can't be easily faked. You notice this synchronization in small moments, how his body unconsciously leans toward you when you speak, how his facial expressions mirror yours, smiling when you smile, showing concern when you're uneasy, how he maintains eye contact that doesn't invade, but invites, deep, yet not intimidating. Microexpression psychology teaches us that this bodily synchronization, also called mirroring, is one of the most powerful indicators of deep emotional connection. It's not calculated or conscious, but an instinctive response of the nervous system that essentially says, "I'm in tune with you. Your emotional state matters to me." You see this language in the subtle postural adjustments when he sits beside you, in the casual touch that asks for nothing in return, in the way he naturally creates physical space that welcomes your presence. This kind of synchronization can't be sustained long-term if faked. It's the body revealing what the mind may not yet have fully articulated. Princess Diana, with her extraordinary emotional intelligence, was known for forging deep connections through body language. She understood that a genuine touch at the right moment could convey more compassion than 1,000 carefully chosen words. Similarly, when a man is truly in love with you, his body language creates a silent dance, a subtle ballet of movements that carves out a safe space where both of you can be authentic without words. 6. Resilience in conflict. No meaningful relationship is free of conflict. The difference lies in how we navigate through it. When a man is deeply in love, disagreements aren't threats, but opportunities for deeper understanding and growth. You see this resilience in how he remains present, even during tough discussions. He doesn't resort to punitive silence or explosive anger. He doesn't turn minor disagreements into reasons for emotional distance. Most importantly, he doesn't abandon the emotional connection even when you disagree. This behavior reveals a fundamental psychological mechanism in healthy relationships: the ability to maintain a we perspective even amid conflict. It's about understanding that it's not about winning an argument, but finding solutions that preserve the integrity of the relationship. Resilience in conflict shows when he seeks to understand your motives rather than just defending his viewpoint, when he asks genuine questions instead of casting accusations, when he looks for common ground despite differences, when he acknowledges his part in misunderstandings without expecting perfection from you. This balance is one of the most significant indicators of mature love. It means he values his connection with you above his own ego, seeing the relationship as an entity worth protecting even during storms. Diana experienced both the coldness of emotional distance and the volatility of unresolved conflict. Perhaps that's why she valued so highly a partner who remains emotionally accessible even through relational tempests. 7. Genuine integration into your life. True love doesn't exist in a vacuum. It flourishes in context, rooting itself in the fertile soil of shared life. When a man is completely in love, he doesn't just want to be with you, he wants to be part of your world and invite you into his. This integration shows when he takes genuine interest in the people you love. Not out of social obligation, but out of understanding that these people are important extensions of who you are. He tries to find connections with your family and friends, remembers details about them, asks about their well-being. Psychologically, this behavior reveals a desire to belong to your social and emotional universe. It's a way of saying, I don't want just isolated moments with you. I want to be part of the full tapestry of your life. You notice this integration when he mentions future plans that naturally include you, when he shares his own important connections, when he makes space for you in his social circles without pressure or expectations. This desire for integration goes beyond social circles. It extends to interests, values, and worldviews. He doesn't have to share all your tastes, but he shows genuine curiosity about what moves you, what you're passionate about, what shapes your worldview. Despite her extraordinary life, Diana valued deeply relationships that offered normalcy and belonging. She understood that the truest love doesn't isolate us in a romantic bubble, but connects us more deeply with all dimensions of life. When you observe these 7 signs, remember, It's not a checklist where every item must be ticked. Love is fluid, complex, and manifests uniquely in each relationship. A man truly in love may show some signs more strongly than others, depending on his personality, life history, and attachment style. The most important thing is consistency. Authentic signs of deep love don't appear only at convenient moments or when there's something to gain. They persist through time, circumstances, and the inevitable changes life brings. As you reflect on these signs, I invite you to look inward as well. Our ability to recognize genuine love is closely tied to our relationship with ourselves. Often, the defense mechanisms we develop to protect ourselves from past pain can create blind spots, preventing us from seeing true love when it stands before us. The inner work of strengthening your self-esteem, setting healthy boundaries, and developing emotional independence doesn't just serve to attract quality love. It primarily serves so you can recognize and receive it when it appears. Remember, these signs aren't exclusive to men. True love manifests similarly regardless of gender. The difference lies more in expression nuances than in its fundamental essence. The journey of self-discovery and emotional growth is continuous. Every relationship, be it lasting or fleeting, brings valuable lessons about ourselves, our emotional needs, and our capacity to love and be loved. As Diana taught us through her life, loving deeply takes courage. It requires us to remain open, even after disappointments, to believe in the possibility of genuine connection even when the past urges caution. The water flowing in the river is never the same from one moment to the next, yet the river remains. So are true relationships, constantly changing, yet anchored in a connection that endures, deepens, and reinvents itself with every challenge. Perhaps that is love's true miracle, its ability to grow stronger precisely in the most unlikely soils, to bloom even after the harshest winters. As Diana said, love is like a precious flower. The more care you give it, the more beautiful it becomes. As you reflect on these signs in your own life, remember that the most important thing isn't finding perfect love, but making room for a love that allows growth, that honors your essence, that adds beauty to your journey without dimming your own light. The love your heart deserves isn't one that promises completeness, but one that celebrates your wholeness. Not one that solves all your insecurities, but one that creates a safe space for you to work on them without judgment. Not one that offers a fairy tale, but a real story, with difficult chapters, beautiful pages, and the promise that, even if the story eventually ends, it will have been worth every word. You are worthy of this love, not because you're perfect, but because you are authentically human, with all the complexities, contradictions, and beauties that implies. As Diana inspired so many with her genuine humanity, let your own authenticity be the invitation for a love that recognizes your intrinsic worth. This is the kind of love that eyes can recognize when the mind is still and the heart is open. A love that doesn't need to shout to be heard, that doesn't need grand gestures to be felt. A love that reveals itself in comfortable silences, in glances that break through defenses, in daily small choices that say, I see you, I choose you, I stay. Psychology teaches us that mature love exists in the balance between closeness and autonomy, between vulnerability and strength, between giving and receiving. It's not a perfect equation, but a continuous dance, adjusting steps as life's music changes its rhythm. As we conclude this reflection, I carry with me the hope that these words have sparked a new perspective in you, not only to identify when someone is truly in love, but to recognize your own capacity to love and be loved deeply. As a community that grows with each shared reflection, we will continue exploring the nuances of love, relationships, and personal growth. This journey is richer because we make it together, supporting each other in moments of doubt, celebrating every discovery, every step toward more fulfilling and conscious relationships. Perhaps Diana's most important legacy wasn't her status or fame, but her tireless pursuit of authentic connections in a world that often values appearances. Like her, we can choose to value emotional truth over comfortable certainties. Transformative, love doesn't come without risk. It demands that we lower carefully built defenses, face deeply rooted fears, and believe in the possibility of being truly seen and accepted in our entirety. But each time we choose that path, the path of emotional authenticity, we not only make room for more genuine love in our lives, we contribute to a world where healthier, more conscious relationships become possible for everyone. In this space, we create together week after week. We continue weaving a new narrative about what it means to love and be loved, a narrative that honors our complexity, celebrates our strength, and recognizes our infinite capacity for growth. Until our next meeting, I carry you in my thoughts, hoping these reflections resonate in your heart and light your path. May you recognize true love when it appears, and more importantly, may you recognize your own ability to offer it, first to yourself, then to the world that so desperately needs it. As Diana showed us, the most revolutionary love begins within us. From that center of self-acceptance and personal appreciation, we can truly discern the signs of when someone is completely, irrevocably in love with who we really are.